Hey guys, welcome to the another part of the Next.js Yatra, and in this video we are going to basically set up our application before we start coding. So how about we start by creating a repository. So I'll head over to this new button and I'll just name this as Next.js Yatra. Let me clear everything. Next.js Yatra JIRA clone. Let's keep it as public, and let me also copy this and create repository. So we have a empty shell over here. Now if we go to our folder where we have all our projects, so you can see we have a project from React Yatra, Google Meet clone, sketchbooks, frontend and backend. So over here only I'll just open the terminal and I'll say npx create next app @14. So why 14? Because right now when I'm making this video, the latest version is 14, and by the time, let's say in a year or two, when you come back to this tutorial, and if you use latest, then that particular version will get installed. So if you are coming from a React background and if you have used create React app, then this was kind of similar kind of command that we are using. And most of the time I know that you people are confused on what exactly is npx and what is npm. I hope you are having your notebooks ready. Okay, keep it handy every time, and because this is a time you can make note. So npx, like if you compare the term npm and npx, so there's a difference of only x and m. npm, like someone also called it as node package manager, although this is not the full form of it. But if you check this npx part, it is node package executable. Okay, what we mean that is, using this npx command we can execute something from the npm ecosystem. Okay, so npm is only used for installing and removing packages. Okay, that is a major part of it. But here comes npx, which helps you execute commands. Okay, x stands for executable over here. So you cannot do something like npm create react app, because npm's task is only to install packages. So what is npx? npx is used to perform executable commands on the shell. Okay, shell means terminals. So that is npx. Okay, so whenever you want to perform any action, like when we'll deal with Prisma.js over there, then you will see how we are interacting with the npx commands to introduce studios and other stuffs. But in the shell, npx is used to run executable commands on the shell. That is it. Okay, this is npx. Major difference between npm and npx. Okay, so via npx we have this command in npx called as create next app, and you don't have to run latest. Instead you have to write 14 over here so that Next.js 14 gets installed on your system. Or if you want to be very more specific, you can just write npx create react app @14.0.4. okay, and just hit enter. Let me zoom this for you guys. Yeah, so it is saying that need to install following packages, create next app. You have to press Y, hit enter. What is your project name? So my project would be named as this, so I can just copy this, paste, hit enter. Would you like TypeScript? Obviously yes. Would you like to use ESLint? Yes. Tailwind? Yes. Do you want to use src directory? Shall we use this or not? I think we should use this. And would you like to use app router? Now over here, my friends, there are two approaches on the Next.js. One is the pages router, one is the app router. So app router is the most latest and the stable one. The legacy was the page router. Okay, so we are going to use app router over here. So we just have to hit enter. Would you like to customize the default? No. and it is installing the packages. So let's just fast forward it over here. Okay, so we have got this setup running. We can close this and we can open this project. Okay, so you can see that we have this Next.js Yatra JIRA clone setup nicely over here. Then we can open this in the VS Code. So let me just bring this up. Yep, here it is. All right. So we have this setup over here, and this is the structure directory. This was a SRC module that the prompt asked us. So inside the SRC module, we just have the app right now, and we have the global CSS, layouts, pages. We are going to understand these things in depth, and we have a Tailwind setup already. We have package.json, and make sure, my friends, that this Next.js is 14 for you. The React version should be 18. Okay, and just cross check that you have the exact configs as mentioned over here. Before running into the directory, let me show you the type of extensions that you need to have. The first extension you need to have is the color highlight. Okay, this would help you highlight colors. Why do you need this? Because when we'll add the color tokens, then it would add a nice look to your project. Okay, then you have to add this ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. This helps you to generate functional component by just one shortcut commands. Then obviously you want to install ESLint, then GitHub Actions, Git Lens. Live server is something not required right now. Then you need Markdown preview, Post CSS language support, Prettier, Prisma, and Tailwind in CSS intelligence. So make sure you have all these extensions installed on your system. Alright, and let's head over to our application. And my friend, you can see this scripts command. Okay, let's talk about these commands first, then we'll dive into the SRC parts. Okay, so open the terminal by pressing control negation. It will prompt this thing terminal over here, and to work on the development environment, development mode, you just have to run npm run dev. Okay, but that is by using npm command. But in this project we are not going to use npm, instead we will use yarn. Okay, so we are going to use yarn. So yarn -- version, and this is the version over here. Before that we have to switch to the latest stable version. So currently my yarn version is 1.22.19, and if you want to install yarn, first of all you can go to yarn install, Windows on Mac. Mine is Windows right now, so you can go to yarn package installations and you can use this command to get it started. Okay, and there is some alternative as well, so yeah, you can use this. Okay, head over to this. If you are Mac OS, if you are Windows, just select the version. Then right now the classic stable is this one. Okay, 1.22.19, and just download it. Okay, that's it. Now post you have yarn and everything set up, what you have to do is you have to come to the project terminal and check your yarn version. Yarn version is 1.22.19, and after that you have to switch to the stable version. Okay, so you have to run this command yarn set version stable. Why we are doing that is because when I was working on this JIRA clone project before teaching you guys, I ran into some versioning issue between Storybook and the Jest frameworks. So Storybook we are going to use for creating components, and Jest framework for creating a tests. Okay, so there was a package called CLI that was not very compatible with between these two packages. So that is why when I switched to yarn set version stable, that error was gone. So So to avoid that error in the future, it is very advisable that we are on the latest stable of yarn. So I'll just say yarn set version stable, hit enter, and it will just install the latest version. Okay, and on the left, once you have connected the git okay, to your git lens and everything, over here you'll see that some changes were made into our package. So this was just a reordering. Okay, nothing was changed over here, just by alphabets it was reordered. Okay, and come up above and so on, then reordering here, and one line was introduced, was package manager. So this package manager makes sure that whenever yarn runs on in this project, the version that is going to be used is the stable one, which is 4.1.0. now if we check yarn version, you will get 4.1.0. so make sure this is already done to you. All right, so we have the basic setup of the project, and before diving into the directory, let me just perform basic rituals of pushing our initial commit. Okay, so just copy this part, git remote add origin and something like this, and just paste it. Please make sure this URL is just for me. If you are having your own repository, then the URL must be different for you. And just hit enter, and let me add a commit. Okay, so there can be two ways: either you add git commit -m from here, or you can just use VS Code over here and just say set yarn stable version and just hit commit. All right, and you have to just click on this icon and it will push onto the master branch. Okay, yeah, I think this is done. And if we just refresh, yeah, so we have this, right? We have everything. There was an initial commit from the create next app when we set up the project, and then whatever was our changes after setting up the yarn latest version, that was added. And if you don't know Git or GitHub, it's totally fine, because you'll eventually learn as we progress inside this application. Even when I started my career, I was not having very little knowledge on GitHub, almost no knowledge. Then gradually, as I was working on projects, and I gained enough knowledge, right, about GitHub. So I'm expecting the same for you. It is no rocket science. Git is very easy. Okay, so coming back to the part, we have got our project on the GitHub, and we have to come back and let's talk something about the repository which we have set up. So inside, before going inside, we have this public folder. Inside public folder, we can have all the assets, all the images that we want to show in the application. So this is like a general repository. Then we have the SRC. SRC contains all the business logic. This app would be our page. Okay, this app would containing all our routes, all our pages, and the components and other stuffs. Then we have this page file, okay, which is containing some JSX. Then we also have a layout file which is containing HTML tag. Okay, this is something interesting. We will talk about this. We will talk about this in a matter of time. Then we can see some meta tags over here. All right, we have a next config file and package.json, post CSS, and readme, tilde, and other stuffs. So before let's try to ignite this application. What I'll have to do is I'll just have to first clear everything, and we have to ignite the application in the development mode. So just use yarn dev. Okay, dev is this particular command. Hit enter. All right. So what happened just now was that if we have been using yarn, but we have not performed a yarn install in the application. So to do that, first of all, let's get rid of package lock. We actually don't need move to site. Then we write yarn and this is going to install all the packages via yarn package manager, and it is going to create a yarn log file which just got created, and we have some pnp commands. We can ignore these files. All right. So what we have got, my friend, is a lot of stuff, right? We have a lot of stuff over here. So we have many files from the yarn folder as well, which we don't need. So what we can do is we can just add dot yarn over here and save this, and this is going to ignore all these files, okay, in the yarn folder. Okay, so we have these things, and once this is done, we can now, I think, perform a yarn dev, and this is running 14.04. Local would be running on localhost 3000. So if we go to localhost 3000, okay, we can see this is compiled, and we can see the landing page of our Next.js project. This was good, but if we notice the package.json file, we have other commands as well. Okay, let's explore these commands. So this build command is used to generate a production build. Okay, so let us fire this yarn build, creating an optimized production build. Okay, this is creating, it has compiled. Now it was linting and checking the validity of types, and it is collecting page data right now. And I think we just have one page, so this should not take much time. So over here you can see that once the build was generated, the app generated these files. So first load JS shared by all. So this is the initial chunk that is hydrated to our application. Then we have this particular thing. One is home page and one is not found page. Okay, these are the two pages created, and you can see that this is the size of the page and first load on JS, and this is the amount of size it will take. So this is production build. Now how can we run production build on our servers, on our local actually? So you just have to do yarn start. Okay, then this is again running on localhost 3000, and if we just refresh this, nothing changes because the application is the same, but this is now in production mode. Okay, so this was the commands. Okay, and we will deep dive into the SRC directly as we progress making our application. In the next video, we have to set up our ecosystem. Alright, by ecosystem, what I mean by is that we have to set up CI/CD pipelines so that whenever we create components, then we have enough coverage for the test. Okay, so it is going to be amazing. So see you guys in the next video.